back at it, and we are again doing some further follow-up testing with the Pistelle X-68, the Punisher build. So I have replaced yet again the spring, and as most of you are aware, I've been doing some testing with springs. I don't know if it's been obvious or not. But yes, I have been testing some various springs, 50 millimeter, a little stronger spring, 1.8 millimeter thickness wire. Also, yesterday I had tested on CO2 and on HPA. I had tested a 60 millimeter spring, so factory length spring, but thicker, 1.8 millimeter in wire diameter, whereas the factory wire diameter is 1.6 millimeter. That particular 60 millimeter by 1.8, it was busted pretty much. I noticed at least a 40% reduction in power. The 50 millimeter spring, stiffer spring, but the shorter spring, actually was kind of a successful. It did move the power band around and created more consistent shots. Also, my ending shots were definitely higher than what I normally would get with the factory spring. So is there value in the 50 millimeter spring, which is really my tuning spring? Certainly, yeah, there's certainly value in it. It kind of brought that hot shot further down and kind of spread the love a little bit, if you would. Not that that's a technical term, but yeah, I kind of spread the love across all 6 rounds a little bit. So for some people looking for a little more consistency, the tuning spring definitely is, viable option. I've got enough rounds through the one I got, and I just purchased one on, looked for the measurements, 50 millimeter by 1.8 wire size and 22 OD, 22 millimeter OD. I found something on Amazon, waited a couple weeks, got it in, and tested with it, and it's working great. However, today I have reinstalled the factory 60 millimeter long, 1.6 millimeter wire size, 22 OD, 22 millimeter OD. I have reinstalled that, and I also reinstalled the bolt tip O-ring, the 014, which I had previously removed during troubleshooting of my mag drop, I should say my mag ejection problems that I was having. So I have reinstalled that to see if it has any impact whatsoever or had anything to do with my auto fire situation, auto fire condition that I was getting every time I used the larger expansion chamber in that Vulcan stock, this one right here. I will be testing again with this, with the bottle direct rather than using a line system. I will be testing at some point again with that. But for now, what I'm going to do is I just want to get some numbers since I added this Home Defense 24 short ASA, which also gives me volume. Whereas the MCS standard ASA really didn't give any volume. It was a really good, it got the job done, let's put it that way. It got the job done, but it didn't give you anything additional. At the time, it didn't really, I wasn't really looking for a big chamber at the time because I knew I had that Vulcan cost stock with plenty of volume. But then I found out that I have an auto fire condition. So at the end of the day, this is further testing to see if any of that happens. Also, again, I want to see what I get with this new ASA from Home Defense 24. So, and thank you again, Sean, for being so kind to send me one. Appreciate it. And I am gonna, we'll see what it does on 1,000 PSI HPA next. We're just going to go with the 11.5 inch barrel 686 from MCS and the 6-inch Reaper suppressor, and we'll see what we get for numbers on that. me put my other air on. Actually, let me air it up first. This should be my 1000. All right, so I got a freshly pumped 3000 AR Tactical with the slide check built in. And this is a 9 CI tank. And the output is output regulated to 1000 PSI. So we are going to try that out. I'm going to take this plug off of here. This plug that I stuck a gauge on. Why not? I love gauges. So I should have stuck my digital gauge on this, but maybe I will. I don't know. It's just one of those plugs that came with a an 8mm. I forget what you call you call those quick connects, but I just took that off the end and I stuck a little pressure gauge on there. So super easy. You know, comes in handy if you want to see what the CO2 in the handle's coming out to anyways. So that's what I did there. Again, factory spring. I did stretch it out a little bit. How much? Probably not much. So I stretched it out a little bit, and again, the 014 O-ring is back in place on the tip of the bolt. So we will see what this does with 1000 PSI. It feels tight. I guess you don't need to overcrank these. They seem to stop just fine. So, all right, let's try this out and see how she airs up. There's no ammunition in it. Make sure that this is closed. There is a empty CO2 cart in the handle. And let's see what we get. Let's point it down range. All right, that sounded good. I don't know if you heard it at all, but not hearing any leaks. And sounds good. So we'll go ahead and put my other air on. All right. And to keep consistent, we'll continue to shoot the AR Tactical 10-gram Joules. These are 684, I believe. It's advertised as 684. If you spin them around a little bit, I've noticed through the ball gauge, you can actually get them to slide through the 681 if you know, without too much trouble. But they are probably closer to the 684. They definitely no problem with that. So, and they do seem to be consistently around 9.9 grams is what they're consistently coming out. So we got 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do believe, yeah. All right, factory mag of 6, 10-gram AR Tactical rounds, 1000 PSI, 9 CI tank. I'm gonna just call the numbers out, and the joules will be updated in the video by the time you see this. So, see what we get. All right. Shot 1. 479.2 feet per second. Shot 2. 458.1. Shot 3. 456.9 feet per second. Shot 4. 459.4 feet per second. Shot 5. 451.9 feet per second. And the last one, shot 6. 471.9. And a nice simple degas. I gotta say, I'm starting to love these slide check tanks. I mean, there's no wrestling around with them. You got good texture on here, really easy to grip. Yeah, they're working good. I mean, they do slam some pressure in there pretty quick though. Um, but hey, it just worked fantastic with this Home Defense 24 short ASA. I'm very thrilled with it. Very thrilled. Good combination. All right, that was 6 of the 10 grams, and that was on 1,000 psi, and the mag did not release, again with the reintroduction of the 014 O-ring on the tip of the bolt. So far so good. 1,000, you know. Factory mag didn't drop at all. I didn't feel any movement inside the handle as I was shooting, which I used to feel quite a bit, especially on the my Stormtrooper build where I had the preheated CO2. I mean, there was a lot. You could feel it in the handle. A lot of pressure flowing through there. But yeah, with the reintroduction of that bolt, well, bolt seal probably is what it's used for. To seal into the barrel is what would make sense to me, I guess. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, 6 rounds. I think they put up some good numbers. I'm excited to see what the feet per se, what the joules are, but they'll be in the video. So we had those. Now, let's see what we have left. This 9CI tank and this gun. I suspect this gun's pretty thirsty. Probably going to be a air hog for sure. You see what I got left here. I really wish that gauge was the other way around. So I'm hovering just over 1,000. I started at about 3,000. The tank was sitting or just under 3,000. Forgot to show you guys that. But yeah, I'm sitting a little over 1,000. So I'm not thinking I'm going to get too much more out of this bottle anyways. I mean, if I just used almost 2,000 just to get 6 rounds. So I am going to unscrew this bottle and I'm going to put on, what am I going to put on? That's a good question. Well, I have my 1100 with the slide check. It's even smaller. It's a 7 CI tank. Hopefully I can at least get 1 magazine of these heavy 10-gram ammo on it. We're going to test that. What the heck, we'll try it out. So, all right, that's what we're going to do. All right, that's right. It's already, well, it's probably good to check anyways. Make sure you don't have any air down in the handle. But the degasser seemed to do the trick, so let me make sure. Okay, good. That stayed on, didn't turn. Because there's nothing there locking these to them like with the MCS version. They got that little clamp system with the set screws where it'll keep this from turning. This, as far as I know, they don't make them for this one. Maybe they do, and they just don't have one. I don't know, but those are kind of nice to have, a little extra peace of mind, unscrewing everything. So, all right. Anyways, I got the gift for gab, guys. Don't you know it? Don't you know it? All right, we're gonna try this. If I'm not mistaken, this is either the first or the second time that I'm actually using this little baby 7CI AR Tactical with the built-in slide check. So 7CI. I'm not expecting. Hopefully I can get a magazine out of this, but I ain't expecting much more than that. That's for sure. And this one here is indeed pumped up full. And we're going to try this. And what we're going to do is we're going to try it. I'm going to put the extension on. I have another 7.5 inch 686 MCS extension. I'm going to put that on and see if it changes anything. I may not have the volume to really make a big difference, but CO2, different story. But with HPA, it seems like you really got to have a good amount of volume to really take advantage of any extended barrel lengths. So at least that's been my experience so far. But we're going to test it anyways with this, and we'll see what we get. See what we get. Now, I don't have any more of the AR Tactical other than what's around my feet. So what I'm going to do, actually, I do. Oh, and this tank's 1100 output. I'm sorry, I may not have said that. The 9CI was 1000 output. This one's actually 1100, and I had tested it. I think I got a video out there where I checked all that with a gauge. So I do have these Riot balls, which are 9.9. I could run them, but I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and run. I have 18. There's no way I'm gonna get through. If I'm lucky, I get through 5 or 6. But I do have 10 gram AR Tactical Joules in this drum mag right here. 18 of them. So I guess we'll just use this. So, which is fun anyways, because God knows I've been waiting long enough for that thing. All right. Let's put a little squirt of silicone lubricant in here. HPA is pretty dry stuff, so you definitely do not want to skip that step. You got to keep her lubricated. All right. You got to keep her lubricated. This is kind of a cute little tank. All right. See how this thing feels. Yeah, it's close up. Pretty cool though. Looks nice. Yeah. All right, let's air her up and see how she likes 1100. We'll keep it pointed down range. There was nothing in here. There's no ammo. All right. AR Tactical 1100 output slide check. Oh, that little bugger turned on me actually. It's the first time I'm actually, or maybe the second at the most, that I'm using this bottle, so bear with me. It may not be as easy to operate as that 1000 tank was. There we go. All right. It's just been sitting that way for a while under pressure. Probably like 2 weeks or something. All right. Yeah, everything sounds good. All right. So we're going to proceed with 5 or 6 shots, whatever this little pup will give me, whatever this 7CI tank will give me here, of the 10 gram AR Tactical. And yes, this time I won't be a dummy, and I'll put the drum mag in the correct way. That was a good laugh. I lost about half of these things into the gun. It was crazy. All right. Sounded good. ADN drum mag for the Pistelle. So far it operates pretty good. Shot it the other day and everything was cycling through pretty good. The only trick with this is you need to pay attention to how many rounds you fire. Not that it's going to be a problem right now because I'm not going to have enough air to shoot them all 18, but with this system you got to really pay attention to your counting. You don't want to, there's a kind of like a lightweight kinetic round down in the very beginning, just as kind of like your warning that you're running out of ammo before your follower potentially goes up into the breach, which you want to avoid at all costs. All right, so that feels good. We'll put the laser on, and again, we're just gonna call out some feet per second, and by the time you see this, it'll be updated in the video. All right, we're gonna go with shot 1, 10 gram AR Tactical Joules, 1100 PSI. Shot 1. 462.8. Wow, that thing hit that thing hard. 462.8. Shot 2. 468.7. Drum mag looks good. Didn't move. Shot 3, 465.9. Shot 4, 463.4. Shot 5, 464.8. And hopefully we get a 6th one. Shot 6, 462.1. Really good numbers. Very psyched. Let me see what I got for pressure left in this thing. It's sitting right about 1,000. So it's supposed to be 1,100 output. So I imagine I'm going to start seeing the next few rounds drop in feet per second. But let's see what we get. Let's see. We'll go until we get a dead trigger. All right. So that was 6 rounds of the 10 gram. All right. This will be shot 7. And this is on the 7CI baby tank here. 436.5. You can see there was a reduction in feet per second. That was shot 7. Here's shot 8. Still have trigger pressure. 404.1 feet per second. That was shot 8. Here goes, I still have trigger pressure. So here's shot 9. 383.9. And I still have pressure on the trigger. So what is that? Shot, was that shot 8? So shot 9. 355.3. That trigger felt really soft. So I'm thinking this tank's probably out. Yeah, she's somewhere around 400, I think. 400, 500. So that's good for me. I don't know. That was a good test. Yeah. Okay, I can see the bolt. It looks good. Until I degas it, I guess that's where she's gonna be. I'll put that one back in there. So that was what? What was the count on that? Heck, man, I lost track. I'm so excited that things working good. I totally lost track of the count. I think I got 9 or 10. Anyways, we'll play back the video. All right, this drum mag, sweet. And you know what? Didn't break the bank either. I gotta say, did nice work, Scott Allen. Nice work on this, and very fair, reasonable. Good guy to do business with. My only complaint is I wish I had it sooner. But then again, in life, don't we always want things sooner? Nobody wants to wait for nothing, right? That's why we got fast food. All right, so let's degas. Degas and feel that bolt drop. Another nice degas. Again, I mean, it was a little stiffer operating it, but again, you know, this smaller tank, it was only maybe the second time I even used it. Matter of fact, the first time I used it, I think was that video I had where it something wasn't right with my gun anyways at that time. It wasn't the fault of the tank, but that massive rush of 1100 PSI when it set the bolt, it auto-fired once. And I was thanking my lucky stars that I did not have ammunition in this. Which again, I know I keep driving it home, but guys, unless you have no choice, you know, I mean, you're in a real world situation for home defense or something like that. If you're just plinking, messing around, having fun, air it up first, unload it. Don't take the chance. You know, I mean, unless there's a damn good reason, take the chance. I wouldn't do it, because that was proof, that video. If I had ammo in that, it would have, the barrel of my gun was pointed towards the wall a little bit here. It probably would have just freaking, you know, what, rouletted across the stinking hallway and probably ended up knocking me in the head or something. So, you know, I can't drive it home enough. You gotta treat these things like they're firearms. And YouTube, they are not firearms. These are air guns, paintball markers, repurposed. But you gotta treat it that way. You gotta respect it. You know, you definitely gotta respect it. I've done some crazy things myself. Hell, with that preheated CO2 is probably the craziest thing I've done. But yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You know, it takes a split second for something stupid to happen, you know. So anyways, yeah, that was good. I gotta say, with the factory bolt spring, again, I did stretch it a little bit, but with the O-ring back in there, the factory bolt spring, I mean, naturally, I didn't have any concern about mag drop with that drum mag, but I did shoot 1,000 PSI on a factory mag right before that, and you guys saw it. I mean, I didn't have the magazine launching out the bottom at all, so I don't know. Maybe most of the problem I was having was related to the warmer CO2, the CO2 pressures. Maybe it was something else. I mean, since then I did rebuild a lot of the O-rings. So I mean, you know, maybe there's something. You know, maybe it was the perfect storm. All the planets and the stars had to line up, or some baloney, and you know, I had those mags launching and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm just happy that it seems the problem has seemed to correct itself. Again, O-ring in the bolt tip, it's back in there. So I think I got some really good power out of this setup. I do need to see, actually, oh my Lord, I was supposed to add the 7.5-inch extension, wasn't I? Phew. Yeah. All right, well, that'll be a video for another day. We'll add that 7.5. It's all right anyways, because I have done so much to this thing lately, testing springs, testing with CO2, testing with HPA, a new ASA on here, which is very powerful, works fantastic. Matter of fact, next thing I want to do is I want to take this off and I'm going to try it in my Intrabuster Gen 2 and see what it does for me with that. I'm betting it's going to do some good things there. So, but anyway, so look for that to come. Yeah, we're just going to end this video here. I think I rambled on for almost 30 bloody minutes here. But I got some good numbers up on this. And yeah, this Home Defense 24 ASA, this is the short one, working great. I can't imagine what the big ones do, you know, what the big one would do. They got a bigger model of this as well. But heck, you know, if I'm around like high 90s, 100 joules, yeah, that's great. I mean, hell, you don't need more than like 75 anyways, right? I mean, you can punch right through 3/4 plywood around 75, I think it is, or 74. All right, guys, I've rambled enough. Thank you very much. I encourage the feedback and comments. Keep it clean, and hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out.